Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Monday night team call. I'm Rochelle Osborne, and I have my friend, Senior Goal Callie King, with me. And we are going to be talking tonight about getting back to the basics and just all the things that we need to do in order to be successful in this business. Callie is going to start us out with some basic duplication steps. And I immediately thought of her when we wanted to do this call because she is really, really good about doing all of these things. She's really good with getting her chat set up and doing all the things in the chats that she needs to do. And so I'm going to let her start us out talking about that.
Hi guys. Hope you guys are having an awesome night. First thing I want to say is that when we were talking about just getting back to the basics, duplication was the number one thing that we felt like we needed to talk about tonight. And that for that reason is we are creating more work for ourselves and not doing anybody that joins in this business, this awesome business venture. We're not doing them a service by not teaching them how to be efficient on their own. So creating more work for us, not giving them the opportunity to be able to do these things. That's the reason why duplication is so important for us. So as we were going through, we were thinking, okay, let's brainstorm all the important things that we can talk about duplication. And it got me really thinking about my previous job. Prior to being a stay-at-home mom, I was a classroom teacher. So how many of you guys have ever been a teacher or currently a teacher, or you've subbed? Okay, show of hands. Yay, that's a lot of people I see. Okay, so you guys will totally get the vibe I'm going on right now. So when you first get a classroom, I taught middle school, so I taught 7th and 8th graders literature, and it was one of the first things that we established when we were going into a new school year, that we started out with rules. I didn't really even teach my curriculum for the first 3 weeks of school. I was teaching them procedures of how to do things. I was teaching them the expectations of my classroom. I was going through those things, and we were not really doing tons of academic stuff, but we were laying the ground rules. So I really connected to this when I was thinking about our Plexus business. When we first start, we have a new person that doesn't know really too much about these products. They don't know really too much about the business side of things. They can just be coming in basically new to these things. So we want to establish from the very, very beginning, we want to establish an easy routine for them. We want to establish an easy way for them to start their businesses and be successful. So, and you know, part of this is about connecting. Part of this is about, you know, the relationship that we create with them. It's the success that they're going to have on their products can depend on this very first step of creating a three-way chat. So I'm going to talk about three-way chats first. Some of you guys have started three-way chats before you actually get an ambassador, and that is totally great. We encourage that. There's always something to be said about third-party validation, and that's what these chats do. So if you've set up one prior, it's going to be a pretty easy transition. If they've joined, if they're a wholesaler now, or if they're even running with this business, you just transition right into this. If not, you are going to open up a brand new three-way chat. And in those three-way chats, I know we have established what they even look like, down to the way that you write them out. So I know that we do personally capital letter group, we do the new person, we do the sponsor, and then we do the upline from there. So you do not have to be scrambling through your messenger list to find these groups. So that's one thing that we start out with. So in my three-way chats, when I open those up, I will go ahead and do a welcome. I will welcome the person and say, hey, so-and-so, this is that three-way chat that I was telling you about. So I'm not just pulling this three-way chat out of the blue. I have already told them that I'm going to set this up. And then I introduce our upline if they've never met or talk to our upline. And so I do not give them everything about them. I just say, hey, this is our upline or our emerald upline, Rochelle, and she's just an amazing woman. I'll let her do her own introductions, but you are going to love the things that she's going to add to this experience. And I'll leave it at that. And then that gives Rochelle or your upline, that gives them the opportunity to come in and be more personable with it rather than just this person that I blabbed about. They get to connect to the new member. So then after that, I put in the welcome letter. So we're supposed to send the welcome letter. You can send it through email depending on, you get a feel of your person, just like I would get a feel of the personalities and the learning styles of my students. You get a feel of this new person. So you can, if they do better through email or texting, however you have to respond, you send them your welcome letter. That shows them, a lot about what they're going to see the first couple of weeks and introducing into the products. But I also put it in my 3-way chat. Then I also put the 30-day measurement and ailment thing. You can change that if you don't want it to be 30 days, but a lot of people like to see the difference in the 30 days. And I make sure that it is not just the measurements, that it shows if they have not been sleeping well, if they have had joint issues, if they are, they have stomach troubles or anything like that. And so they can revisit that. And I always put like a little note above it when I send it that they are going to want to notice, they're going to see things and differences in those non-scale victories that first month. So I really push that in this 3-way chat. And then I do 7 successful habits. It was a file that was in Pink Power. We already had the resource. I just took it and I copied it and I put it into my own Word document so I could send it all together. But it shows things like drink your water, have a positive attitude. It goes through things that you would generally just want someone to know as they're starting off the business. And then here's where some people have a difference of opinion here. People do not want to scare anyone off with mention of detox. And I put this in my chats for a reason. It's not something that says, beware, here are all the bad things that could happen to you. It is a pay attention to your body. And if you start noticing things in your body that maybe you're throwing up warning flags for you, then celebrate because this is working. So I put a positive spin on the whole detox. You could say, your body is getting rid of impurities, however you want to word it. But I always tell them, do not be alarmed if you start experiencing any of these. Make sure you tell me. And as we're checking back through in the 3-way chats, as we're supposed to, then they have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm experiencing some headaches. Or, hey, I started breaking out a little bit, but I saw that in your detox thing. So yay, this is working. And then
and it's not going to be a surprise to them then. So then they're not going to be like, oh my gosh, these products made me puke everywhere or whatever. And then they're so afraid of it then. And then they want to quit. And then they don't want to come back to you and be like, well, whatever. So we want to give them that permission to come for them to come to us and say, you come to me with anything and everything, good, bad, indifferent, all of that. Right.
Yes.
So, and Callie is so good at these. I loved her little Word documents.
That's why I love putting this in there, because sometimes immediately after they read that, they'll go, oh no, like I'm going to experience all of this. And it gives me a chance to stop it right there and say, listen, everybody goes through their own form of this. It may not be as drastic, but I don't want you to be surprised. I don't want you to think, hey, these products are making me feel bad, so I'm going to quit, because that means that it's just education for them, rather than them being scared and worried when they start experiencing these things. If they start experiencing these things, they're meeting it head on. So again, use your own discretion. You know your people. That's the good thing about this business. We are a people business. So you generally know how they're going to react and how they're going to talk to you if they're not going to talk to you about that kind of stuff. So you can do it yourself. Now, I chose to put all these in Word documents, and upload them that way, so I can just send them. It's very easy and very effective. But the last thing I add in there is the chart, the dosage chart. So they have it in the messenger. Sometimes I've texted it to them, I've emailed it to them, and I have put it in their 3-way chat. So third-party validation, here's the points for the 3-2-1. Third-party validation is priceless. Like, having someone else that is a little more knowledgeable, a little more experienced than you in this business is invaluable. They can add so much. So get your upline in these chats. Also, people don't quit when they feel like they belong to something. And we're going to go into a little more than that, but that's part of this duplication process. So that's all I have. This is an immediate thing. It's not wait a week after they've done the products. You do this when they first join. And it's just structured. And that way, and you guys do know that you're supposed to be in there like the first day, the third day, the fourth day, like the fifth day, the first week after of them doing their products. But then every week after that for the first month, and then every other week after that for the next couple of months, and then you gradually, it's just whenever you do that at least once a month in your 3-way chats with them. And depending on the person, if they're having a difficult time through detox, you might want to be in there more, encouraging them that way. So next thing about duplication is getting in the 3-2-1 or the action stack into our chats. So this is something that you can duplicate. Now, why should you be in the 3-2-1? I'm assuming that everybody that's taking the time right now, that you are taking time away from your family, that you are staying up an extra 30 to 45 minutes to be here. You guys care about working your business. And that is something that we can all look around and we see that this is common. So if you have the thought, like, why do I need to be in a 3-2-1 chat? Why do I need to be doing the action stack? Then you need to take a step back and reassess your goals. If you don't think that you need to be in that, or if you don't think that you need to be doing them faithfully, then you're not necessarily moving forward in your business at all, really, if you're not doing that. Now, there are people that have great work ethic, that are doing these things consecutively and consistently on a daily basis that are not in here. But I will tell you, every time that I have not been in a 3-2-1 chat at the very beginning of my business, I didn't move forward. I kind of stayed in the same spot because I wasn't as motivated or challenged, and the 3-2-1 chats do that. So they're accountability for you guys. They are support. And if your team sees you in them, then they are going to more likely be doing that. So that's the duplication process. Just plug into a 3-2-1 chat. You need to be talking to anyone on your team that's working the business about the 3-2-1 chats, why they are important, and just getting them excited about it, because this is when we see our businesses boom. So
we have a question, Callie. Somebody said, what is 3-2-1?
Oh, hi. Okay.
So tell us really fast. What is 3-2-1?
Okay, 3-2-1 is an IPA practice. So you are doing income producing activity. That's what the IPA stands for. And 3-2-1 is just a branch of that. So it's one of the options that you have of doing. You do 3 posts on social media a day. One of those should be a personal post that is either, I do a lot of posts with my kids involved in like activities and stuff with our family. Then one of the 3 is your personal post. One of those 3 is like an inspirational or whatever kind of hobby you may have. If you're the health food girl, or you're the workout girl or guy, whatever kind of thing, inspiration, you can put one of those. And then one is a Plexus business post or a Plexus product post, which, if you guys have been on any of the other calls, you know that it is something that is not just a generic post. It is something that tells a story, that gets your readers involved. So that's the 3. And then for the 2, you are making and reaching out to 2 new contacts that you have never talked to about Plexus before. And also need to remember that if you are reestablishing a relationship with someone, like if it's someone that you went to high school with, someone that you worked with in a previous job, you do not have to come out the gate talking about Plexus. You can just kind of start with a relationship and it will generally lead into that. But that counts as your 2 contacts. And that is every single day. We normally do 5 days a week of this income producing activity. So that would be 10 people a week if you did the 3-2-1 new. And then the 1 at the end of the 3-2-1 is a follow-up. It is someone that you've already contacted about Plexus, or that you've already started to relationship build again, and you follow up with them. And so you get back into contact with them. So that's the 3-2-1 option. And then the action stack is like 3-2-1 on, I don't want to say on speed, but it's an accelerated 3-2-1. So the action stack has a lot of things like getting into your back office and looking at any people that you have, talking to, it amps it up, the number of contacts that you have every day and the number of follow-ups that you have every day. It's wishing people happy birthday on Facebook. It's just a more detailed list of things that you can do focused on building your business faster. So I hope that answered. Yeah, a lot of people are saying IPA is a must. It's crucial for growth, and it totally is. If you want to build your business, if you have a goal of even just having your products paid for, then 3-2-1 is the way to go for action stack.
And I have to say really fast, this is something that I have done from the very beginning of my business. July 2015, we started 3-2-1, didn't have any clue about what a 3-2-1 challenge was. Fallon says, do you want to be part of the 3-2-1 challenge? I'm like, I don't have anybody to follow up with. Who am I going to follow up with? She's like, this is going to help you to get your products paid for like you wanted. Okay, I'll do it with you. And ever since then, so now it's been 2.5 years, I have never taken a month off. I do it every single month. And if you want to grow, you must be in these. And if you have anybody underneath you that is doing this business with you, you want them to be in there with you, and they need to be seeing you in there that you're saying, done. I have completed my 3-2-1 for the day, or I've completed my action stack for the day. They need to see that you're doing that because they're going to follow your lead.
Okay, so if you were someone that didn't really know what the 3-2-1 or action stack was, you need to get with your upline and they can plug you into a chat and go ahead and get you started. You do not have to wait till the beginning of next month to start. You can start now. And there are files in the Pink Power website that you can download. You can print off and you can have one. You can create a notebook, which a lot of people do, that have these pages in them. So that way you can refer back to them when you're doing follow-ups. You can go through and look at your people that you contacted. It can be a very organized way of keeping up and starting momentum really in your business to get more people and to keep following and chugging along. So choose your pace. You've got 3-2-1 and you've got action stack. Both are really amazing. One is just accelerated and will get you to your goal faster. So another thing for duplication is team calls. Now, we are on a team call right now. So if you guys are here right now, then woohoo, you are completing part of this. Now, look around and see if any of your other team members are on here. That is an indicator of your duplication skills. If you can get your team members on here, you will start to see some growth in just as a person, as a leader for them as well. Because these calls, guys, I cannot tell you how many times I've been sitting on these calls and been like, whoa, okay, I didn't ever think about it that way. So I get in my mindset, I get what my idea of things should be like for my business and everything else. But getting to hear all of these perspectives from people that have had different experiences, you are not the only person that has had issues or has been stuck in a mindset for so long or anything. Like, it is so valuable to be on these calls. And another thing I was told is get your video on, show your face. If you are a leader and your team is on here, you turn that video on and you represent no matter what. If you have to be in your house coat, which I don't even know if anybody wears house coats anymore, but if you're in your PJs, do it. It doesn't matter. Of course, I mean, I have my makeup on and I fixed my hair, but that was because I was nervous and I wanted to look pretty so I'd be more confident. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to. So get your team excited about these things. You're going to learn, you're going to see faces, you're going to feel more like just that team environment. It really does help in so many areas. And I have on my notes, I have support, support, support. When you do not feel supported and you do not feel encouraged in your business, you're more likely to slack off and you're more likely to just kind of fall off the face of the earth as far as Plexus goes. So encourage that. Establish this team culture from the get-go. Get them in. Say, hey, we get calls. Okay, team calls are on Monday night at 9:30. They do not change. Sometimes they do get canceled, but for the majority, we're really, really consistent in Pink Power. So what I do is I get my kids in bed. My husband is passed out. And then it's me time. It's time for me to come down and do my business, and that it works well for me. So next thing is book studies. So this is the time when people are like, oh my gosh, I just don't have time. I can't do this IPA. I can't do these book studies. I can't do this team call stuff. And I'm so bogged down. Well, true story is you can, and it's all about your mindset. So take a step back, reassess what you want again. And I've said this multiple times, but what are your goals? Do you want to grow your business? Do you want to get out of debt? Do you want to bring your husband home from this crazy job? Do you want to have the things that you have set when you joined Plexus and you decided to work this business? Do you really want those to hit those goals? These team calls, book studies, 3-2-1, it really can be manageable. It is not something that you have to spend 5 hours a day on. It is something that you can squeeze in. Team calls, book studies, 30, 45 minutes, that's not that much to do. And it's 2 times a week. So team calls are on Monday night, book studies are on Thursday nights. And they're consistent. So it's not like we're changing schedules on you all week. You can plug this into your schedules. So for the book studies focus on really personal growth and professional growth. But basically, we pick a book, and team-wide, we will buy the book, and then you will read certain chapters every week, and then you will come into the book study like this in a Zoom setting, and you will discuss nuggets from the book that you learned. And this is another amazing thing where you get to hear personalities and perspectives that you read the same words, but you may not have interpreted it the same. And you can glean so much from everyone. It's such an awesome experience just to really take it seriously. Now, I can tell you one thing and one side note on this. If you are doing these to check off a box and say, got it done, you also need to take a step back. You need to reassess your why here. This is for you. This is for your business. This is not for your upline to see that you were on this call. It's great that you feel like you're doing something, but if you're only doing it half-heartedly and you're not really putting your all into it, then don't. That's all I can say. I know that's a little harsh, but don't waste your time. I can tell you that if you do it, take it seriously, it won't be a waste of your time. So it's also a comfortable learning environment as well. You don't have to be all, perfect and put together. So anyway, that's
and it's
all.
free. It's
That's all I got for
free
you. Oh,
training.
yes. Oh, yeah. And where can you go? Yeah, where else can you go to get all of these things for free? People pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars in corporate settings to train their people, and you guys get it for free here on Pink Power.
Yeah, absolutely. Brittany Howard says it's like Plexus Church. So we need to be in it every week. We're going to church to hear our sermons and to be spiritually fed. This is for us to be Plexus fed, y'all. Okay. So But yes, those were all such good points, Callie. And I feel like, man, I just need to sit over here and be quiet and listen to you talk some more because it was awesome. But Callie is super, super good at duplicating. She's super coachable. And that's another thing that we need to really make sure that we are doing when we are in this business. We want to be coachable. We want to listen to our uplines. There's no sense in reinventing the wheel, trying to come up with all these things, redoing all this stuff. Let's do what the successful people ahead of us have done because it works. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have new, fresh ideas. Fresh, good ideas is always a good thing. But there's no sense in reinventing the wheel. So definitely plug into these duplication steps. They are written out in Pink Power, actually, and you can just search. That's another thing that Callie talked about in the beginning, you know, being a teacher, talking to your kids at the beginning of the year, training them, whatever. When we're getting a new ambassador underneath us, we want to train them. One of the first things that we want to tell them is, hey, I'm going to add you into our amazing team page. It is awesome. It is a great, great resource. And when we tell them about this, you know, we say, there's a search bar in there. You can search it. So y'all can search duplication. It's going to pop up. You can search three-way chats. It's going to pop up. It's all there for y'all. If you don't know what to do, get with your upline. We are always here to help. But duplication, duplication, duplication. We need to be duplicating. We want to train our teams to do what we're doing so that we're not always sitting here in management mode telling you every little thing to do. It's just like having children. We have 7 of them. I don't want to be sitting here telling my 16-year-old what he needs to be doing like I'm telling the 2-year-old what he needs to be doing. We have grown up now, and we know that he can pick up the vacuum cleaner by himself when he sees that there's crumbs on the floor. And I don't even have to say anything to him. So this is the same thing with our team. We want to be training you guys so that you can be getting out of that nurturing phase and getting into the developing phase and into the equipping phase so that you can then be now leading your own calls and leading your own teams. And if you have one person under you, you are a leader. So you get on the phone with that one person, and then other people are going to join you, but you get into those three-way chats, you set them up right away, because this is a relationship business. This is about the people. And so that's something that I love about Plexus, is that we can all connect together. And I love that Fallon takes the time to get into my chats and talk to my people. It shows my people that she cares about them. When I get into my people's chats, it's showing them that I am taking the time out of my life with 7 kids and homeschooling and taking the time to say hello to them and talk to them. And I care about them, and I want them to get the results that they want to get, right? So plug into Pink Power. It's so important. Plug into these team calls, plug into the book clubs, get your people onto these with you. Also, Gut Health and Happiness and Beyond. You want to plug into Gut Health and Happiness and Beyond. You want to get all of your team, everybody on your team, into that page. And you also want to get any of your prospects that would like to learn more about Plexus into that page. That page is not just for ambassadors. It is for prospects. It is for anybody. So definitely utilize that. We go in there on Tuesday nights, and we have a live every Tuesday night. We also have an opportunity event once a month. Sometimes we may tap into the big teams opportunity events, but there will be an opportunity event, which there was just one at 9 o'clock tonight in the big team page. But there's always going to be that once a month thing that we do, so we can always know whenever we are talking to new people that we friend at the post office or that we friend in the grocery store line, and they want to know more, and we're friending them on Facebook and they're seeing our posts and all the things, then we have something that we know at the end of the month we're going to be able to connect them to. So that is super duper important. Callie already touched on the personal growth and personal development. Super important, y'all. I didn't really understand what any of that meant in the beginning. I had no idea what personal growth meant. I thought just reading your Bible was all I needed to do. And we do need to do that because that's going to be growing us spiritually. But these books are so, so vital for growing ourselves in our business and for growing our businesses. Like we say, personal development, professional development. The soldiers do it in the Army. We do it here in Plexus. It works. Consistency in taking your products. I know it's a little bit over 10 o'clock here now, y'all, but I just have a couple more things to say. Consistency in taking your products. If you want to see results with your products, what do we tell everybody? You have to take your products consistently if you want to see results. Partial taking of the products is going to give you partial results. Same thing with the business, y'all. If we do not work our business consistently, we're not going to see results. Okay, so that's where the 3-2-1 comes in. That's where the plugging into these team calls comes in. We need to be connected, y'all. It makes such a huge difference. Okay, reaching out, following up, posting on Facebook. That's it. It's very simple. It's very easy. It might not be simple in the beginning. We may not know what to say, but there's lots of files in Pink Power. There's lots of videos that Cody Helmer has done, giving you specific words of what to say because she's so good with her words that we can plug into and tap into and look. And plus, get with your upline. We will help you, okay? The other thing is the power of 3. You want to get your people, when you're talking to them back and forth, in the beginning, before they even sign up, you want to tell them, plant a little seed. You just want to say, girl, it is just way too easy to get these products paid for. Then, you don't need to say nothing else. Just leave it at that. We're going to keep talking. Oh, yes, these products are going to help with that. Yes, God help. Yes, all the stuff back and forth, answering all the questions that they're asking. Okay, they want to sign up. Yay, let me get on the phone with you. We're going to sign you up. Okay, so then it's going to come up again. And we're going to say, we need to get your products paid for this week, okay? I'm going to help you. What we're going to do is as soon as you get your products in, we're going to have you take a picture of them, and I have this great little thing that you can type up. It's super easy. I have it saved to my notes app on my phone, and I just simply copy and paste it, and I give it to them and make it easy for them. In the beginning, we may need to do a little bit of spoon feeding. You know, with the baby, we're going to spoon feed them a little bit, and then they're going to get old enough to feed themselves, right? So in the beginning, people are nervous. They don't know. They don't know what network marketing means. They don't know how to post on Facebook. They don't know how to save anything on Facebook. They don't know anything about a group page. We have to help them. We care about them. We love them. We have to help them. So we're going to help them. We're going to have them post about that on Facebook. We're going to then be tagged in it. We're going to tell them to tag us in it. So then we are going to follow their comments of their friends. And we're going to get over there and we're going to say, oh my gosh, you got like 5 people that are already asking about what this is. Put them in a chat with me. I will help you to answer these questions. I literally just did this with my friend who wants to get her products paid for. And the girl had like 40 comments on her wall. I'm not kidding. She had like 10 people that want to know all these answers to everything. So I'm in all these chats now with these new people. But it definitely is something that we need to be doing and helping our people because they don't know. I most certainly did not know. Thank the Lord that Fallon Black helped me with what to do because I would be lost if I didn't have any help, okay? Help your people. They need help. And just be a leader to them and just, you know, tell them all of these things that you're learning. Get on the phone. You need to do a 3-way connecting call with all 3 people when you have a new person. So get your upline involved in that. Hey, we need to get a call. We need to get a call started so we can get introduced. And then that way, you know, your upline can tell their story. You can get connected. You can meet each other. It's really important to talk on the phone. Yes, the 3-way chats, always a must. And yes, we can leave voicemails in there. And that's a really good thing to do as well. But getting on the phone is important. So that's a 3-way call. Coaching calls or connecting calls, whatever you want to call them. My husband, as you can see, I just remembered that this is his office. He's got his big thing back here. He does coaching, right? So he always tells me, those, what you're doing, honey, is not coaching calls. Those are called connecting calls. I'm like, okay, excuse me, whatever you want to call them, coaching calls, connecting calls. Get on the phone with your people and talk to them. Sometimes they may just need to vent to you. Sometimes they just may need a listening ear. Sometimes they have questions. You're going to answer those questions. You're going to help them. You're going to train them. But you want to be on the calls with these people a couple times a week, at a minimum 1 time a week. I was on the phone with Fallon almost every day. So she'll tell you that. So it just depends, you know, whatever you need to do. Get on the phone with your upline. Reach out to them. They want to help you. And we're not going to know that you need help unless you come to us and tell us. You know, we definitely are here to help though. So don't ever think that we're too busy. We're not. We want to help and we want you to grow and we want you to reach your goals. So that is about all I had for tonight. Did I forget anything, Callie?
I think you covered it, dude.
All right, we're good to go. Oh, and subscriptions on. You want to tell your people, have your subscriptions on. You want to give these products a minimum of 3 months. So when they're signing up, make sure that they are getting their subscriptions on, especially now because we got that free shipping that we can use for January, February, and March. So, I mean, you just got to use that. Use these incentives that expire now on Friday. If you guys did Super Saturday, you've got some free promo codes that are going. So use those. You got $10 off the welcome packs. Use those. And then, of course, the free shipping. I mean, where in the world have we ever seen such amazing deals like this? It's just awesome. It's because it's their legacy year, their 10th year. So it's really awesome. So use those.
I saw a couple of questions up there. I think a couple of people ask it, but they said if their people weren't connected on Facebook, they don't like the Facebook posting aspect. That I'm assuming though that based on your all's comments, like they're one of the few people they're still working the business, but they're not doing it actively on social media as much. There are some people that are not there yet, but you just keep on. Stay close to them through texting and still get them connected to your upline, because there is no rule that says that everything has to be operated through Facebook. It is easy. It is kind of what a lot of people are connected to. So that's why that we use that as our main platform. But there is no hard rule that says that you guys have to do that. So the same principles apply regardless of what platform you're using. So if they are doing cold contacts where they just walk out in the street and talk to everybody that they know about Plexus, they still can do a 3-2-1 sheet. They still can do an action stack sheet. You can still give that information to them. You just go and you get those from the Pink Power website in the file section, and you give those to them and say, hey girl, I know you may not be like all about this Facebook thing, but this will help you. This will help you keep it more organized. This is a great system. It works for everyone that I know. You can still encourage that kind of stuff. So that's how I would address that, and still encourage them. If they don't like Facebook and they're a more Instagram person, work all your business from Instagram. Still encourage that, because that's a lot of cold contacts. You get a lot of exposure from that. So I would still do that. But that's the only other question.
Yeah. And you can do sip and sees. You can do sip and sees. Melissa Eichenhorst started doing sip and sees in her house, and then she outgrew her house, and then she went to her church, and then she went to her husband's funeral home or something like this. I mean, she just, you go wherever you can go. I mean, Plexus at a funeral home. I don't know, whatever you want to do, you know. You can meet at a restaurant. You can do whatever. You're talking to somebody at the post office, exactly what you said. It does not have to be social media. I mean, social media definitely makes it way easier for us, because it is about storytelling and sharing our lives, and people want to see what we're doing. But it doesn't have to be done on social media. It can definitely be done in person. So,
and I believe that the 2 free codes that we got at Super Saturday are only good until it's Friday, right?
Yep, Friday the 26th at 5 p.m.
Yes,
yep.
It's only good until Friday, so it's not to the end of the month, Christy.
Yep.
All right.
So you guys,
unless anybody else has any questions.
Yes. It has been so nice being on here with you guys. Thank you, Callie, for all your words of wisdom. And we will see y'all next week. Bye.